Hi, this is Andrew Lyles with Parkinson Technologies, ParkTechTalk, where we discuss our web processing systems within the plastics, non-woven, paper, and specialties products. Today we'll be with Justin Marriott, the product manager for our Key Filters brand, and we'll be discussing post-consumer recycling for the extrusion melt filtration. Hi Justin, how are you?
I'm all right, how are you?
Doing well. Can you tell us a little bit about PCR and what it is?
Well, PCR, it stands for post-consumer recycling, like you said earlier, and really it's split up into three kind of departments of where you get material in your in-house extrusion house. So
Okay.
one would be your virgin material, so that's your pure material you're getting from your resin house. And then your other portion of that's going to be your reclaim. That's generally in-house reclaim, and that's going to be if you're doing some biax orientation or thermal forming and you have scrap left over from those processes, you're going to take that scrap, put it back into the system, repelletize it, and that becomes your reclaim. And then lastly, you have your PCR, your post-consumer recycling, which is your outside world, your recycle plants, and where you're getting your bottle flakes and all those items. And that's kind of splits into those three different segments.
Okay. Within that thinking, where do you see the market going with this right now?
Well, the market's interesting right now because, I mean, now more than ever, we're seeing that sustainability is a topic that really none of us can ignore. And that makes it very interesting because we're seeing the large companies like Coca-Cola, Frito-Lay, Dannon, and a good 250 other companies out there signing up for these packs of basically promising sustainability and introducing more recycling into their process. I know they have one target of 2025 where they want to be using 30% of PCR recycle, material in their processes.
Gotcha. So where do you see the challenges in the market currently?
I mean, that's a good question. There's a lot of challenges. It's mainly leaning on we're changing the whole supply chain of how we're getting material to our extrusion houses. So now instead of getting your virgin, your reclaim, you're doing a lot more with post-consumer materials out there. So it's coming from where do you get it, how do you get it, getting programs up for the recycling of it, and then from there it's bringing them down into the houses. And so you're worrying about the fact that you have a lot more contamination in these products. So now you're looking at you got to wash them and sort them, and how much can your process stand the amount of contamination that you're bringing in.
Okay. What does that do in regards to developing new equipment? What sort of challenges come with that now?
A lot of difficulties there, and that's really centered around the idea that we're bringing in more contamination because we're not dealing with just reclaim where you're bringing in contamination from just in your facility where you have control of it. Now it's out there in the field, and you have different materials being thrown in. You have labels that are still on plastic bottles, and a lot of that trickles down to the screen changers, and that's where our main market is. And so whenever you're talking about more contamination, that means a screen changer now needs to take out more contamination out. It used to be that anything under 1% and under was kind of the world that we were dealing with. Now we're talking about the 1% and plus, getting into the 3, 5, and 10% ranges. And with like our screen changer, a continuous belt, that means that we advance the screen at a quicker rate to get that contamination out of it. So that's taxing the unit a bit more. At the other item of it is when it comes to PET, especially with the bottle flake that competes on the open market with the virgin material, they really need to get that tighter filtration level, oftentimes down to that 50 or under micron level. Whenever you're talking about that level of filtration, it's increasing your head pressures and such on the screen changer, and again, just taxing the unit more.
Okay. Now, how do you go about collecting data to know where to go, how to work this?
Yeah, it's a good point because the biggest thing right now is we're just seeing where the market's swinging in different aspects. And so what I'm finding is since a lot of the Coca-Colas and everyone's pushing down onto their lower facilities to hit these 30% targets, they're kind of scrambling around wondering how to achieve these. And so they're looking at their equipment. Is it able to handle it? Is it not? Where do they get their material from? Because sometimes some locations have better, less contaminated material than others. And then that from us, that becomes kind of a difficulty point because we're searching for a bit of a moving target of where our machinery really needs to fit into different marketplaces. And until everyone kind of settles out, we don't really know, where we're moving yet. And that's kind of a point where we're rolling into this idea that we're going to conferences, we're getting a lot of feedback, we're talking to our customer bases, getting a lot of feedback. But surveys are something that we're starting to put out there. We have a blog recently on this, and we're asking for you to complete a survey. And that's where we're asking in this video too, where we're going to have a survey. And that's going to be asking you kind of what your screen changer you currently have in your process. Are you currently running PCR? Are you moving to PCR soon? Is that a topic that your building is really starting to talk about? And then because of that, do you see a need for new screen changers and filtration equipment? Do you think yours is up to date to handle those tasks?
Oh, well, Justin, thank you very much. We definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you.
This has been another segment of ParkTechTalk. Please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. More of this to come in the future as we discuss web processing with our various brands, Marshall & Williams Plastics, Duesenberry Slitting and Converting, Parkinson Winders, Key Filters Melt Filtration, along with in-house plastics extrusion and orientation pilot labs. Thank you again. This is Andrew Lyles, and we'll see you next time.